Hi everyone! Thank you so much for tuning into my tarot channel. I have a reading for you today. My name is Paulina and I'm gonna shuffle our cards and tune into the energy of the collective, of what the collective might need right now, and hopefully get something relevant to your issues and needs. I'm just gonna kind of start. I've been doing a lot of like prep. I guess like preambles of like, oh, if you want a reading, do this. But at this point, if you just look, there's a post on my page about if you're curious about getting a reading and what that entails and what my skills are and yada yada. So I'm gonna stop doing that now. Although once in a while I may do it out of force of habit. But so I'm going to try to also be changing my style of reading, whereas I feel like I can be over-explanatory as to why I interpret certain cards in certain ways. I'm going to just let you trust my interpretation, which may be difficult. So I've set the cards out for a reading. And I'm going to read it also a little bit different, like a Lenormand. I don't know if you've heard of that. So this is a different kind of reading. So Lenormand means that all the cards are sitting in relation to each other. The cards that are farthest out are sort of like lesser issues. And the cards that are near the center are bigger issues. And the cards that are near certain energies of other cards will be important. So let me show you if can I switch hold on, I'm gonna switch the view. So here's my non-traditional Lenormand. I don't know, I'm not French, so I don't know how you say it, but I'm guessing it's similar to that. Lenormand. I'm trying to do the throat, the guttural throat things are hard for me. But in that kind of reading, it's about how everything's relating. So I'm going to start, and then I'm going to do a brief overlay of what's going on, and then I'm going to just give my interpretation and maybe grab some cards like in a different part of this reading. So we have the healer. So a major like part of your life purpose is to be a healer. And also there's this symbol of snakes, specifically 3 snakes, and I think there's those 3 stones. They're just decorative things in a stone. I feel like there's also a lot of room for imagination in your life path, and for the arts, and for art, whoever this is, and maybe confusion. Next to that is we have the Starboard. You may have like a negative experience with your family, or like maybe you are estranged from them, and that has to do with your healing. That having that sort of negative situation with your origin has catapulted you into some deep healing. We got the venom. Yeah, this relationship with your origins, it has to do with some really intense toxicity that I think it's reversed, because it's really not about you. It's like you are not the center of this, but you've been the target of it. And in the corner here, it's sort of like it is fading from your life. Okay, so the bridge, you have been trying to create a bridge to a happier place from this toxicity. You've been trying to create something new, something different, and I see that you're really trying, maybe doing like self-help, maybe you're going to therapy, maybe you hate therapy, I'm just joking, or maybe you hate, like, maybe you're like in group therapy, like anger management, and you're like, oh, this is so annoying. Like, I love therapy, but sometimes in the beginning you're just like, I hate this, I don't want to do what people say. I get that. So that's why the bridge is kind of like sideways. because like the bridges that are being offered aren't ideal. Village. Okay, and then also leaving your life and related to your healing are your ability to make these bridges, your ability to make these plans for yourself, and also like you're leaving a lot of baggage of caring what people think. Like this could be anyone. Like just you're like no longer listening to the chatter of others and their thoughts. I feel like you're connecting with the divine more. Like maybe you're praying a lot and trying to find your highest joy. And then we have the offering. You're offering to the world something. And Napoleon Hill says if you can create, the first step to abundance is creating a service that can be rendered for compensation. I mean, that can be, you know, you can charge for money for that service. That's the first step of being an entrepreneur. Feeling a lot of entrepreneuring energy. But so you're going to be offering some ideas to the universe, but also there's going to be something offered to you. And it has to do with leaving this. See how this mountain is, really it's a mountain turned upright, but since it's reversed, it's pointing right at the offering. So maybe you've reached some spiritual peaks and after some lows that have opened you up. Okay, so we also have the flame. You've been definitely in darkness. That's definitely on the outskirts. That's leaving. I don't want to even spend that much time on that. Thanatos. I feel like you've been enmeshed in some sort of web of like fear, but it's not just okay, the fear is guiding you actually. So spiders like eat other insects. That's like one good thing about them. And they build these nets and catch them in their nets, and it's like about laying in wait. So I think that you've built a lot of like invisible nets for yourself of protection, but also like you know how to protect yourself now. And you know that you may have learned a lot of like skills in the past year about like how to deal with the difficult people or like dangerous people. And that's not leaving. That's current, and that's gonna bring you out of this darkness, and it has been bringing you out. I guess self-assertion is what I'm getting from this card. The ring reversed. Close to your healing is getting like there's been some sort of like vow that was like not followed through with, like probably a romantic partner, but also people letting you down. And part of your healing is to realize that the ring is circular. It can be turned, much like the wheel of time. Some outer issues that are like from the past here. We've got the destroyer. Maybe there was someone very abusive in your life, or some destructive force, maybe an illness, maybe something beyond your control, maybe an accident or like a traumatic event that happened that just made you feel destroyed. That's like in your history, in maybe your childhood, young adulthood, something that you did not have control over. Maybe you saw some destruction, maybe some death or something very difficult. And then also in the distant past for you, that's sort of the bottom of this reading. I mean, what I'm going to say, the foundation of this reading here is love. And in the middle, next to the self-assertion. So I think self-love is really important right now. And I think that you were in a place with this darkness, catty corner, that you couldn't find feelings of love for anything, and you were like in a self-protective mode of being closed off emotionally. Now that you, and also in your, so you have a deep like foundation of love within you, like not just for people, but just like for things and like life and joy, like joie de vivre, and like you couldn't connect with that, but no one can take that away from you, and you are starting to pull into those sort of troves, those treasure troves of inner self-worth and love, self-love that came from difficult experiences. And then we have the orphan in the past. The orphan reversed can be feeling like you couldn't find, it's like you couldn't find in your past anyone that understood your situation, anyone to communicate with, anyone to create with. Maybe you were like a lonely child, maybe you were like different. Sorry, just drinking some water. And then I'll just end with one final card here. We got the Siren reverse. We keep getting that. You are on a healing journey that will lead you to probably a different location than you are now, but also what is this message? It's not a warning. It's coming kind of, don't second guess yourself. Don't not take a bet on yourself. Don't hold back. Don't let people push you around. And you may be learning the art of mesmerization or hypnosis, or like sort of training people to behave the way you want, meaning like also pruning or like getting rid of people in your life that aren't working anymore. So I hope you enjoyed that reading, and I'm going to be doing some different kinds of reading upcoming that are a little bit more raw and less detailed. So I hope that you will be open to that, and I'm looking forward to it. Thanks.